Howdy folks, my name's Darren from RC Scale Models, and today we have another kit. This one's from Airfix. It's their brand new tooled 1/48 scale, the Havilland Vampire F3. Let's take a look what we get inside this box. So, typical box art from Airfix. We've got three schemes. We have one from the Royal Air Force, one from Canadian Air Force, and one from Norway. A little bit of history on the kit through the aircraft, about the aircraft, and it's got a dimension of how big it's going to be. Skill level 2, 2 flying hours. Not sure about kit number. I think that's A06107, I think, for kit number. Can't see anything else on there, but again, brand new kit. It's only just arrived. Haven't looked inside this yet, still sealed. So we're gonna cut this open and have a look. So we have the typical Airfix way of doing things, which we complain about year after year. They keep stuffing it in one bag. Worksheet, decals, and colour callouts, and that's pretty much it for that. So, further ado, we'll go straight into instructions. So it's typical way of doing things from Airfix. A little bit of history. And the first warning symbols, different languages, some information on the aircraft. And your first step on the aircraft itself is working on the lower wing section, and part of the fuselage is all moulded in one piece. They're asking for if you're having the landing gear up in flight mode, so you can put these covers in for your landing gear. Drilling out some holes if you're having these fuel tanks, I believe these are. This is the intake for part of the engine system, so this is the air intakes that come from here. This is this piece. We have a wing spar and your intakes going in. The wing spar and your turbine is all moulded as one piece. So once that's attached, you've got some parts for your wheel well. This is for having your landing gear down. This is for your landing gear up. So if you're having the landing gear up, you don't really need to put these in. You probably can if you want to for more structural strength, but you don't really need to. We have obviously the front wheel cover going in and a little bit at the back. This is for landing gear down, so you've got some more sections of your part that makes up the wheel well. We have another wing spar here with the back of the engine, which makes up the back of the engine part where the nozzle is. This is the nozzle bit, two piece. So optional part now, pilot or no pilot. If you're having the pilot, you just paint him and glue him in. If you're not, you've got moulded in seat belts to paint. If you're going to swap them out for photo etch or whatever, you're going to have to take care of those probably, or use the plain seat. I'm not sure if there's two seats yet. We'd have to look at that. I think there is, because there's two different numbers. Basic cockpit floor. Bulkhead, we have a little instrument piece at the side here. I think that might be a oxygen bottle, I'm not sure. Don't know what the cockpit looks like on the Vampire. So it's basic interior. Then I'll say this is pilot in. Some basic instrument panels and flight stick. This is, what's the difference between these two? Can't really tell the difference between these two, but there is called two different options, don't know why. And then inside your aircraft, making sure everything's attached, we have this piece here is to do with your landing gear. This is for the landing gear down. This is just like a structural piece for it. And then attaching the lower cockpit, which slides forwards and down, so it should lock in at the front and then tabs at the back. We have a piece at the front here which makes up the wheel well as well. Quite modular in a lot of parts, just around the cockpit area. Turn your attention to the back of the aircraft. We have some triangle support gussets which is around near the engine bay, and then your main booms, there's 2 halves, so don't forget to make 2 of those. Attaching the booms, and then we have the other side of the fuselage and cockpit area, so it's moulded as another one piece. So we have a little bit of internal detail radios and some instrument panels and stuff, so it's going to have to be deckled and painted up and whatever. And then once that's done, you can sandwich the wings and fuselage, those 2 sections. Once it's all complete, should sandwich together hopefully nicely. Then we have the intakes going in. There are a couple of intakes within this kit. I can see them here in the bag, so we will take a look at that, reason why we've got different intakes. Maybe there's different variants coming out, but at the moment they're just calling up for one type. A little bit of nose weight in the front, if you can get it in there at 17 grams. Well, it's going to be a tail sitter otherwise, slightly, because it is a tricycle landing gear. We have the main flap at the back. We have the rudders going in. Doesn't look like they're posable, unfortunately. The flap. Then this is for, these are more flaps. We have more support gussets within the flaps as well. These are flaps down in the down position. So you have these actuators and stuff coming in. So yeah, so these are the flaps in the down position, so don't forget more actuators and stuff. We have these end pieces for the wings, so this is again repeating the same process but on the other side. Same again on the other side, so that's left and that's right, I believe. We have landing gear, basic landing gear and doors. This is for the down position, left and right. Doors go on for the landing gear. Yep, so this is left and right landing gear segments, pretty basic. 2-piece wheels, pretty standard. Front landing gear, door going in. Front wheel, front landing gear, front door and landing gear all the way through. Should be no problem at all. Then we have the 2-piece, nope, sorry, 3-piece, two bottoms and 1 top for the fuel tanks, left and right. Strange way of doing it. Normally they get moulded as 2 halves. So again, that fuel tanks going in. Then you've got your flaps and your wing tips going in as well. We have some clear parts for your lights, and that looks like another light, wing light maybe. Then we have some little actuators for the flaps. A little piece of goes into the cockpit. Maybe they forgot to add that, which they probably remembered. Then we have some aerials going on. We have the gun sight, and then we have the front windshield going in, and then the canopy open or closed option, so it slides back like a Mustang and a Spitfire. If I'm not mistaken, the cockpit looks very similar to a Hurricane windshield with a Mustang cockpit type thing, very similar to it. So here are the markings. They are on the shiny side, a little bit glossy, not too glossy, they're like a semi. So we have your walkways. So this is the RAF version, Canadian one in the middle, and then Norwegian or Norway. Pretty nice markings. I do like the Canadian one. It's got the bat symbol and bat face. So we shall see. If you don't like these markings, there are a ton of aftermarket out there. You just got to find the right ones for the F3. You do get your typical colour callouts for Airfix. So these are nice little posters as well. You could put up on your wall. So the Norway one is just plain silver. It's not natural metal. It's actually a painted aircraft, painted silver aircraft. So high speed silver that they use on the Spitfires is a perfect example. So they're just called out for number 11 silver. So Norway one is a bit plain, it's just all silver, markings are very basic. I don't really like that one. But my favourite one, I say at the moment, I know is Canadian one. Is this one. The Canadian one is more striking with the red. I might actually do that. Pretty cool. Again, it's the silver with the red. And the Royal Air Force one, again, all silver, quite plain, apart from the squadron marking on the tail boom. So take your pick. If you want an easy paint job and quick easy build, then obviously you do the Norwegian one. But I like this one, so I'll probably be doing a Canadian one. As for the kit itself, one bag. Always check your bags, make sure you don't get any broken parts. This one's pretty good, not a lot in there. We have clear parts, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Put that over that side. So first sprue. It's the different plastic they've used this time. It's a little bit softer, very flexible. It's got that blue tint to it. It's not that usual grey. So I don't know what type of plastic they've done. Maybe have they changed their plastic up or not. But it is very flexible and it seems soft. So be careful with your sanding. The detail looks really good. Typical Airfix. Nicely done. The plastic is nice and smooth. I do like their moulding. I do like their kits. So here's part of the tail boom. Yeah, same again on the other side, left and right booms, identical. So nicely done. Ejector pins on the inside. You're not going to see any of those. So it's all nicely done. So nicely done Airfix. I like that. Just hopefully it goes together nicely. There's not any major issues. This sprue contains all your landing gear, flaps and aerials and seats. So up top we have landing gear segments and actuators. Small detail parts. Here's your flight stick, more triangle gussets. We have more internal parts. Here's one of the plane seats. It's very basic cockpit inside this. Here's part of the instrument panel. There's the main instrument panel as well. Don't remember seeing a decal on the instrument panel. Where's the decal's gone? Yeah, sorry, the decal up top is for your instrument panel. So very basic. You may want to swap that out for an aftermarket. All depends how much you're going to see. If you've got that in the pilot in there, you probably won't see nothing. So very basic parts. Here's your nose. Another instrument panel. So there is two types. Didn't realise that. More instrument panels. Here is the moulded seatbelt version. Some radio equipment. These are those intakes. So we have different types. You've got different lengths. So there must be different variants coming out at some point. Your flaps, your fuel tanks. So you've got these two halves and then the tops. There isn't much detail on there. A couple of circles, very plain. This one contains a little bit more stuff. So we have more support parts. This is probably to the landing gear. This is your tail wheel, or actually not tail wheel, but it's the front wheel at the front. Parts of the landing gear door, pitot tubes. These are your closed doors for your landing gear, and these are the two halves for your open version. These are your two main wheels, two halves. and the other halves are down there. So they look like Spitfire wheels type shape. We have some more landing gear parts. There's another flap for the back. These are internal parts for your wheel bay. Can't remember where they go. Here's the other half of your landing gear doors. This triangle funny piece is part of your turbine part at the back where the exhaust is. Some more flaps. There is some basic detail. I'm not sure if those are ejector pins or not. We do have some more flaps. There's a hover wheels, more flaps. These are part of your rudder system and whatever. These looks like more flaps. This piece here is the cockpit floor. Very basic. And your bulkhead. These parts are covers as part for your tail boom, and then you get your typical Airfix pilot. So he's a little bit modern version of a jet fighter pilot. I might actually stick mine in. I don't mind their pilots, they're not the best, but they're okay. I don't mind them. So you have the wing spar moulded in parts of your turbine. You probably won't even see it. Here is another wing spar of the other half of the side of the engine. This is your upper wing section. So again, Airfix basic detail. I think it's more than enough that you need. There isn't many vampires out there that in 148. I know Trumpeter do a couple. They do an F.3 and something else, because I have the F.3, which is a little bit later version than this, I believe. So these are part of your intakes, and here's the other half. They do have these nice circle tabs to get everything lined up. Hopefully they give you a nice intake seam. You're going to have a seam line on the inside, unfortunately, but trying to clean it up is probably going to be near on impossible. So try and glue it as tight as you possibly can. A couple of bits of detail on the inside on your flaps and where the landing gear wheel well is. So that will need painting before assembly. I'm not sure if it's all the same colour. As for the clear, I've lost my knife. So one basic clear sprue. Airfix have pretty good clear. There's no problem. This is not too distortion for the bubble. So as for clarity on the distortion bit, it's going to be a little bit distort because of the shape, but on the flat ones it's perfectly clear. I think that's pretty good clear. I'm okay with that. I like that. So there you are, my friends. There's another kit from Airfix. It's their 148 scale de Havilland Vampire F3. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.